Hello students, so in this video I am going to solve one more numerical under diesel cycle. So let us see the problem. A diesel cycle has a compression ratio of 16. The temperature before compression is 300 Kelvin and after expansion is 900 Kelvin. Determine cycle efficiency, mean effective pressure, work done if the minimum pressure in the cycle is 1 bar. So this numerical is given in the year February 2006 for we university examination. So it's very simple to solve the numerical. So first and foremost, we should see the given data. Compression ratio is given as 16, which is nothing but V1 by V2, and the temperature before compression is 300 Kelvin. So for that, to analyze this, we need to know what is the PV diagram, how to draw the PV diagram for diesel cycle. So in this PV diagram, so 1 to 2 process, there is adiabatic compression. So adiabatic compression means before compression, the temperature before compression is 300 Kelvin. Where do we get this temperature after compression? It is T2. So V1, T1 is equal to before compression. Therefore, T1 is equal to 300 kelvins. And after expansion, so in the PV diagram, so where do we come across this expansion process? Between 3 to 4. So 3 to 4 is the adiabatic expansion. So and after expansion is 900 Kelvin. That means T4 is equal to 900 Kelvin. So this is how you should understand what is before compression, what is after compression, and before expansion and after expansion. So 1 to 2 is a compression process, 3 to 4 is expansion process. So determine cycle efficiency, mean effective pressure, work done if the minimum pressure in the cycle is 1 bar. So if you look at PV and TS diagram, so 1, 2, 3, 4 states, different states are there. So among this all the 4 states, where is the minimum pressure we come across? The first point, which is atmospheric pressure. In the first point only we get very least pressure and least temperature. So that's why we need to take 1 bar as P1. So P1 is equal to 1 bar pressure, which is nothing but the atmospheric pressure, right? So we have written all the given data and we have drawn PV and TS diagram. So for given data and PV and TS diagram, it will also carry marks. So first we need to start from a 1 to 2 process, then we will move on to 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 and 4 to 1. So with that we will find out all the pressures and temperatures of different salient points, right? So 1 to 2 process, which is nothing but adiabatic process, we write down the temperature and volume equation or relation. So T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. So with that we will find out the D2, because the T1 value is already given in the problem. So we will find out the T2 value. And the next, in the same 1 to 2 process, um, P1 V1 is equal to MRT1. This equation also we know, which is a standard gas equation, and M is taken as 1 kg here. So P1 V1 is equal to RT1. So in this V1 is equal to 0.861 meter cube. But here compression ratio is given as 16. So V1 is equal to 16 V2. So with the help of that equation, we will find out the V2 value, which is 0.0538 meter cube. So next one is we need to find out P2. The same 1 to 2 process, which is adiabatic, P1 V1 whole to the power of gamma is equal to P2 V2 whole to the power of gamma. So in that equation, we'll find out the P2 value, which is 4850.3 kilopascals. So with that, the 1 to 2 process, we have found out P2 value, pressure, V2 volume, V1 volume, and T2 temperatures. So is all these T1, P1, and T2, P2, and V1 and V2. So all these things we have found out from process 1 to 2, which is adiabatic process. So we need to take only adiabatic equations during 1 to 2 process. After finishing this 1 to 2 process, we'll move on to the 2 to 3 process. So 2 to 3 process is obviously a constant pressure. So P2 is equal to P3 is equal to 4850. Why? Because already we have found out P2. The same thing will be applicable for P3 also. So we need not find out anything else apart from this. So next move on to the process 3 to 4. Process 3 to 4, again it is adiabatic process. Same equation whatever we have used between 1 to 2 will be applicable in this process also. So process 3 to 4, T3 by T4 is equal to V4 by V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. So with the help of this equation we can find out um, T3 we can find out, but before that we don't know what is P4. So how to find out P4? There is one more equation like P4 V4 by T4 is equal to P1 V1 by T1. So with this, so V1 V4 gets cancelled because volume remains constant, and P4 will get the value as 300 kilopascals. So again P3 V3 whole to the power of gamma is equal to P4 V4 to the whole to the power of gamma. Since it is an adiabatic process, we need to use this equation. So with that help of this equation we will find out V3 value. So with the same the values what we have found out, which is V3 and P4 can be used in this equation to find out T3. So T3 is equal to T4 into V1 by V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. So therefore you will find the T3, that is a maximum temperature throughout the cycle. T3 is equal to 1993.6 kelvins. So next, mean effective pressures. So how to find out this mean effective pressure? So mean effective pressure is equal to work done divided by stroke volume. Stroke volume is nothing but V1 minus V2. So work done by V1 minus V2. So how to find out this work done? Work done is taken as Qs minus Qr, which is heat supplied minus heat rejected. So in this diesel cycle, heat supplied in under the process 2 to 3, which is constant pressure. That's why we have taken as MCB T3 minus T2 minus heat rejected between 4 to 1 process, which is constant volume. So that is why it is taken as MCV T4 minus T1. So in this we need to take this CP as constant. Mass will be remain same, which is nothing but 1 kg, and CP 1.005 and CV 0.718. So both the values will be remain same. So with this we will find out the work done formula. Next we need to find out the mean effective pressure. So we know what is the work done, the value of work done divided by what is V1 and what is V2. So if you substitute, we will get the mean effective pressure in terms of kilopascals. So 815.73 kilopascals can be converted into 8.15 bar. So we have found out the mean effective pressure. Next move on to the cycle efficiency. Efficiency of diesel cycle 1 minus 1 divided by r to the power of r into, so which is gamma into r to the power of gamma minus 1, rc to the power of gamma minus 1 by r rc minus 1. So one is a cutoff ratio. RC means cutoff ratio. Sometimes we have taken as a rho, or it is RC. It depends on the individual how to take. It is their own interest. And so if we know the cutoff ratio, and we know this compression ratio, and we know the gamma, which is adiabatic index. If we substitute all the values, you will get the efficiency of diesel cycle is 60.46 percentage. If in addition to this, in the problem, if it is asked to find out the air standard efficiency, then it's a very simple formula, which is 1 minus 1 divided by r to the power of gamma minus 1, which is same as that of the Otto cycle efficiency. So 1 minus 1 divided by 16 to the power of 0.4. 1.4 minus 1 is equal to 0.4. So you will get the 67 percentage. If we compare both this air standard efficiency and diesel cycle efficiency, air standard efficiency will be more than that of the diesel cycle efficiency, because it is some more thing will be multiplied. So in the formula, so cutoff ratio whole to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by cutoff ratio minus 1. So with this diesel cycle efficiency will come down. So this is a slight comparison between this diesel cycle and Otto cycle. So this is how you find out the efficiency of the diesel cycle. The only thing you should know here is what is compression ratio. Compression ratio is V1 by V2, and cutoff ratio is equal to V3 by V2, and expansion ratio is equal to V4 by V3. So these three things if you know, so you can easily solve the problem under this diesel cycle. Okay, thank you.